Andrew Molina here. And if you want to learn more about my music, watch this video. I first fell in love with the ukulele. I was about 13 years old. And, in Hawaii, the ukulele is very, very popular. Everyone has it in their house. So my grandma had an old Kamaka ukulele in her closet for years. And one day, one of my best friends brought his ukulele over and he's like, hey, let's learn a song. So I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And yeah, had a good time. My first time really playing an instrument. And he would come every week and teach me. And then my cousin started teaching me too. And then that's just kind of how it all started. Yeah. But I should mention that it probably was around the time 6 months later when I discovered Jake Shimabukuro and what I saw what it was capable in the ukulele. Then I was like, whoa, I gotta play like that. And that's when I truly started to fall in love with the ukulele. Because before it was, it was a little hobby and all. But once I saw that guy play, I was like, wow, I want to do that when I grow up. And I just was listening to his songs like during recess and lunch, and especially when I got home from school. So it was lots of fun. I believe the ukulele is a very special instrument because for many years it kind of had this what do you call it? People thought it was kind of like a toy, or it's something you find in an ABC store, and it's just like it's a backup instrument. But over the years, it's kind of gone through an evolution, and there's a couple reasons why it's special, and one is that it can pretty much play any genre of music. Before, when you think it's only a Hawaiian instrument, and you can play full songs. It can play like songs like Dream On by Aerosmith. Like you can play classic rock on it, you can play jazz, you can play anything. And yeah, the range is pretty difficult to arrange like stuff like that because you only have four strings. So it's quite a challenge. But the other reason why I think it's very special is that it's not an intimidating instrument compared to like a cello or a violin. You could literally just pass the ukulele to someone and they can learn something in within like 15 minutes. And I think that's why it's spreading all over the world and people just love the instrument. And the community is great. There's so much positivity in ukulele players. And, you can take it on the plane. You can do so much with the small little instrument. Actually, the ukulele is actually like the community is actually very different back home. Back home, I think it's because the ukulele it's so common. It's actually not appreciated like it is out here, like in California or even places around the world. It's just like, oh yeah, I got an ukulele, like, and it's kind of like, oh, it's like a lamp sitting on like a table in your house. But here, yeah, there's like, there's ukulele groups here. We don't have any ukulele groups back home. There's really no workshops that happen in Hawaii. So I guess the style is very different. But yeah, like I've been to places like, of course, the US, the UK, Ireland. But yeah, everybody has ukulele groups, and it really just connects people together. And yeah, everyone's just so excited to get together and just play. And in that moment, that's where everyone just kind of unites, and there's no negativity. And yeah, I think more people should pick up the ukulele. So back then, when I first started, it was the legendary Troy Fernandez. He was the first guy to really like start shredding on some of his stuff. So my cousin showed me the Cult Crater Boys. So I was always like listening to that. And then of course Jake Shimabukuro. I saw him perform on Maui in 2006, and I just became obsessed with the instrument. And that's what I wanted to do, like I said before. And yeah, I would learn all his songs. And back then there was really no YouTube. So I had to listen to the CD over and over, but that really helps my ear develop. And yeah, Jake was the guy for all those years. Of course, Herb with the Junior, he was. I really enjoyed his style as well. My current style, I actually don't really listen to ukulele players anymore. I like to listen to guitarists, certain kind of bands, Wolfpack, John Mayer, Rodrigo Gabriela, Sting. Those are some of my favorites now. I feel like I needed to create my own music, and this was actually in my junior year. I started becoming actually very insecure because I was like, oh, I can only copy and copy. But I knew that I wanted to, like, ukulele wasn't just a hobby. I knew that I wanted it to be my living down the road. So I was like, okay, I can't be just playing these songs that I've known since I was a kid or a teenager. And so it was actually my junior year where I'm like, okay, let me try to write. But writing is such a difficult task. You know, there's no recipe for that. You can arrange where arranging songs has a recipe, but writing comes completely from within. So I just remember I got super, super frustrated where I actually quit ukulele for an entire year, and I turned down these opportunities. My dad found these gigs for me, and I said, I don't want to do it because I was so insecure that I couldn't write my own music. And so I ended up putting the ukulele down for 1 year, and then I picked it up, and you know, I think I wasn't like I didn't have that bad muscle memory of playing all those old songs. I just started thinking, oh, here's some new ideas, and yeah, it was just kind of weird. But yeah, later that year, I I went into the studio and recorded my first album. Of course, one of my early songs was Eho Ikealoa, which is kind of like a Hawaiian song. Got Journey to Kapalua, kind of based on inspired by places on the island. Yeah, so these songs started coming together, and my dad's friend actually had a studio, so we went up to up country area of Maui, and we started laying it down. And I remember I was so terrified. I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I've never been in that kind of environment, so it was very scary at first. You know, you have the headphones on, you have to play in time with the metronome. I was very intimidated, but I was excited at the same time. And yeah, I think that process took about no, it's probably like maybe 5 months. And then after that, I kind of went to college while the CD was being duplicated and everything. I went to WoW for like a couple semesters, and then when I came back, the CD was ready, and then that's when I started kind of pushing this early career of mine. But yeah, I didn't have much. I don't think I had much covers on that first one. It was mainly originals. But yeah, listen to them now. I'm like, oh wow, it's kind of hard to listen to now because like I, I've grown so much, so it's like it sounds like super basic to me. But yeah, that was the first one. It was a great experience though. Even Herbo the Junior, he actually, you know, we went to the Hokus, and he goes, you know, I really like your CD. I even voted for you. And I was like, wow, that means a lot, because I didn't really have any, I guess, my self esteem towards that album. Like I wasn't sure if it was good. You know, it was my first time, so I wasn't sure how people perceived it. But a lot of people actually praised my original, so that was very it boosted my confidence in a big way. And yeah, it was perceived pretty well around. And I was like, oh, okay, I got to keep this going. So I used that adrenaline, and then yeah, but I didn't really hit the. I think I waited 3 years before I went back into the studio to do this the second one. But yeah, I think the originals, people talk about that. So after the first one, I was literally just playing under the banyan tree, and then at least 6 hour gigs, you know, working for tips. So it's pretty rough in the beginning. And then I started doing, like, you know, restaurants at the hotels and stuff. And then I think 2000, and then around 2015, I was like, you know what, I want to try to, you know, go to California and do like a small tour. So that's when I learned how the style is actually, you know, you teach and you play. So at the time, I couldn't teach at all. Like I was just like, oh, because, you know, back home everyone's just like, okay, just hold this chord here. Very, very the learning style is very different. So around, yeah, it was the end of 2015 where I did my first tour, and then after that, I was like, oh wow, you know, there's all these songs that I had wrote after that, and I was like, I should put them on a CD. So that one, we went back into the studio in 2016 because I know that I wanted to tour more, and I needed something else besides the first one to showcase my current style of ukulele. I figured the first album was to get into the scene, and the second album I was like, okay, we gotta up the ante, we gotta play a more variety of songs. So that's a theme with my albums. I always push the variety and see what can I do on the new one that I haven't done on the first one. So, you know, like doing the Game of Thrones theme was was very exciting for me, and I think I did Beat It by Michael Jackson, and then also having Jake do a duet with me on one of the tracks was one of the, like, a dream came true. That was my dream since I was in high school, and the fact that that dream came true, it was just unreal. And I got a couple of other friends featured on other tracks too. So that's why that CD will always have a special place in my heart. You know, after the second one came out, you know, like then I started, like, you know, I started going to Tahiti, I started going international, I started traveling a lot. A lot happened in such a short amount of time. And I started, you know, doing these ukulele festivals worldwide and just having these big opportunities. So I'm like, okay, I need to up the ante one more time. So I was just thinking, this CD can't sound like the other two. So Evolve is actually the theme of the album. So I really just, I experimented with different tunings. I incorporated the low G to it. It's, again, different genres that I haven't done before. I threw a Sting song that I threw kind of a reggae vibe on it. I arranged a song that technically I thought was impossible like 10 years ago. I was like, you know what, I'm going to make it happen. So really just pushing the envelope in terms of variety and in technical difficulty as well. But also, it's got to be enjoyable to the listener as well. So yeah, and strangely, I spent the least amount of time in the studio on that third one, even though it was the hardest technically. My goals for for pushing the ukulele, it's always kind of my goal. I feel like that's kind of my mission, is to always push and strive to just get better and better. And like I said, like in high school, when I hit a plateau, I start to get very insecure, like playing in the same keys. That really just eats at me. So I'm always just trying to do something different, and I strive to just push the ukulele and push. Like I feel like Jake started this whole movement, and I feel like throughout my lifetime I have to help him push it as well, and continue what he started. So I'm really obsessed with like just like, hey, what can I do that you don't really hear too often? But yeah, I'm always pushing myself consistently. Performing is my passion. Teaching, I recently, like I said, first coming out to on the road, I was completely like fish out of the water. So I've been becoming a way better teacher now because of it. But performing is my number one passion, and I just love connecting with the audience and just make them not think about if they have any problems going on, like to unite everybody. And I just love to like share my positive energy and get everyone excited. Everyone has a great time. And that's why I think I love performing so much. So I'm really, really excited to be back on the road after almost 2 years stuck at home. It's it's going to be very good. I want to show them that the ukulele is not a toy. I want to show them the full capabilities of the instrument. And I just want to entertain and just help heal people throughout the process, and, just connect with everybody and show them, like you can play fast music, you can play slow music, you can play covers, you can play like little different things you can do on the ukulele. When someone buys a CD of mine, I want them, I guess I would love to just showcase, showcase just, I guess, my variety that I can deliver for the ukulele. Like I said, things from Dream On by Aerosmith, Englishman in New York by Sting, and just even the original tunes, and showcase like, it's a very serious instrument, and I'm taking this very, very seriously. I don't cut corners. I put in the hard work, and yeah, I want people to, I guess I want them to appreciate the ukulele if they haven't already. I've been working throughout this whole pandemic. Everyone got shut down. I got stuck at home. So after a couple months, I had this idea, and I'm actually going to be releasing my own Ukulele Academy next month on October 15th. And it's an online academy with over 100 pre-recorded videos, but I want to help educate now. That education has become my passion, as my secondary passion. But maybe make things a little bit easier for the people that sometimes they struggle, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, on YouTube and stuff like that. So I want to help with these bad habits, and just I can get players to that next level, to learn. So I'm very excited to be launching my academy next month. If you enjoyed this interview, I'm Andrew Molina, and you can check me out on Instagram, Maui Ukulele, Facebook, Andrew Molina, and yeah, come out to one of my shows. You'll have a good time.